Right, this is going to be an interesting conversation because it goes into something else that I'm passionate about, which is people on Twitter claiming that My Hero Academia is child pornography. Um, if you're not aware, My Hero Academia is an anime, and it's got these characters that are, I think, like 16 or 17. But there's no sex in it, right? It's not actual adult. I don't think they even have kissing. So the argument now is that because some of these characters have cleavage, or that there is fan service, why would you watch something like that unless you're into underage girls? This is the IQ of Twitter combined. Okay, like it's some of the smartest minds on the internet, on Twitter. Only they can come up with some shit like this. So this is My Hero Academia, by the way, and they do the same for Demon Slayer. Or I mean, the idea is that they hate anime, like that is it, and they want to shame people that are watching it. Vice magazine is the one that started it. It's very interesting as well. Like Vice magazine, they released an article saying that all anime is pedophilia, like implying it. It got Pulitzer nominated, but you can't find the article anywhere on the internet because they deleted it. So they got a Pulitzer for something which literally you cannot find. They're embarrassed with it. Like, they know it's harmful and dangerous misinformation, but it's also good propaganda. So, but what am I going with this, right? Yeah, Vice is bankrupt, but it can still push out some news, I guess. So anyway, the question about fantasy, fiction, and reality is an interesting one because there was like this video game which came out recently. It deals with body cameras, I think. Like you play the role of a police officer, you got a body cam, and the video game is, I mean, I can't even call it hyper realistic. It literally looks like you're there. It looks like you're playing the news. The graphics are so good, like new generation graphics. It literally looks as if you're watching the news. It's so to the point that if you were to post it on Twitter, they would think it's real. And people are creeped out by it, right? Like there is a difference between fiction and reality to the point where when you play a video game like Mortal Kombat, the fatalities, they look over the top, they look fictional, so it's not like real thing. And my point is the same with the people who like anime girls, right? I would say even into lolly, like they do not look human. I mean, they make your brain think it's human, but they don't look human, if that makes sense, right? Like for instance, the lady that I hired to animate for my video game, she likes anime girls. And I was like, well, so you're like gay? And she's like, no, she's not gay because real women do not look like anime girls. And she's right. Okay, so, why am I bringing this up? Well, I'm bringing this up is that I do think it's a problem if you start making AI, which are fake nudes of actual people. And we're talking about like realistic photos. Like you're using the AI in order to make an actual existing human being look naked. And in many countries, it's a crime as well. I think even in the United States, with free speech laws, it's a crime. And I'm thinking just how awful it would be to be a parent and find out that your kid can go to prison because he did something so fucking stupid. I'm willing to bet like they thought it's edgy or whatever, or they may get in trouble, but they probably don't realize just the huge mess of legal trouble that they're in. Like, you can go to prison for this, right? And the thing is, like, if you go to prison for this, they will not mention why. Like in the news, it will say you have distributed CP, right? When you go to court, they're going to say the same. Like, you're going to be on a fucking registry. You're destroying your life by doing this shit. Before Photoshop, people did it with college film. Yeah, but I feel like Photoshop, like it was a novelty for a while and it went away. Like many people don't really do it. I mean, it's the same though. Like legally speaking, it's the same. If you do Photoshop, right? Like if you take the face of a colleague which is 17 and you put it in a Photoshop over a naked lady, yeah, it's literally the same from a legal standpoint in many places. They bank on the public not knowing the nuances. It's a little bit of different. Like it's sensationalism. Technically, it fits the definition. Yeah, like the newspapers, they want clicks, so they don't care. But in my country, like when I was at law school, a lot of teenagers were accused of child pornography, and the reason for it is that they were producing it. So you have like a 17-year-old girl. Well, sorry, not 17, 16 or 15 even. 15 and a half, let's put it, so that it's relatable in both countries. You have like a 15 and a half year old girl, right? And she takes pictures of herself and sends her to her boyfriend. That's CP. Like she has produced CP. And there were many kids that got in legal trouble. Usually, what happened, I think in every one of these cases that I looked, they ended up pleading guilty, and they got a sentence with suspension. So it's like you have like 3 years in prison, but you don't get to serve unless you commit another crime. So like for 3 years, if you commit another crime, you're going to go to jail for 3 years plus whatever crime you committed. So yeah, it's like a thing that I believe has to be regulated. The way the AI makes fake photos of people is something that's very easy to prompt, and it's very misleading. So, due to this, I think that real people shouldn't be included. Like, if you make an AI of a real person, with the intent, like it should have, like, two things, right? Number one, it should be, like, with the intent to ruin that person's image or reputation. And the second one is, like, it's obvious that it's not parody. So, I think, like, if these conditions aren't met, then it should be considered the same like libel or slander. I thought porn couldn't make AI. It depends on the AI. And especially like a lot of these AIs that just do drawings, like you can run them from a personal computer. And then you don't need the connection to the internet, so they can make porn. AI is getting problematic. Yes, it is. The thing is, like, if you can fake an AI photo of a person, right? Especially like a woman. Imagine how damning it is to someone's reputation. Even if you know it's not her, but like if the picture is convincing enough and the AI can make it convincing enough, and you share it to that woman's workplace, or I mean, it really destroys her reputation. It's awful. I think it should be the same like libel or slander. Yeah, locally Iran can easily make porn. There needs to be watermark systems, like making the skin texture have a watermark. Most of the time, like, they know it's AI, even though it looks convincing. It's still the problem, like, if someone... Imagine someone makes a picture of your mother sucking cock, okay? Even if you know that it's an AI picture, it's still a picture of your mother sucking cock. And it's reputation ruining. It's damning. Of course it will piss you off. And I do believe that it should be treated the same like slander or libel. Unless it's a parody, and it shouldn't have like if it's a sexual connotation, then you're doing it to ruin that person's reputation. Unless the person consents, of course. You can mess with the AI until you get the realistic result. You can't tell it's AI. Yeah, you can. There's other programs that tell you. Like, even if you can't, tell with the naked eye, there are other programs that tell you. But even then, I didn't see so far. Like, I haven't seen. 1 second. So far, I haven't seen a single picture that an AI made which I couldn't find the flaw. Like if you analyze it, there's usually like something. You look at the building in the background. There's an uneven floor. You look at the background. The room is too large. Like you notice certain flaws. No matter how much you tinker with it, like eventually you're still going to notice something. I'm not saying it's not possible. Like maybe they have made smarter AIs since I use the ones. I usually don't use the ones for drawings. But I'm pretty sure like they may have upgraded them and made them better. So this October, the boys at the Westfield High School started acting weird. Why is it always like the boys? Like, how do you know like it's not a girl doing pictures of other girls? Do women not do this? Like, do women never, ever, not once, not a single woman ever? Okay. It took 4 days before the school found out that the boys had been using AI generators to create and share fake nudes of female classmates. Now police are investigating the incident, but they're apparently working in the dark because they currently have no access to the images to help them trace the source. According to an email that the Wall Street Journal reviewed, that the school believed that the images had been deleted and were no longer in circulation. Yeah, so that's my point. It's like they don't know who did it, but they assume it's the boys. I mean, it's possibly that it is the boys, but like, what if it's the boys and 5 girls? Every single time it's like women do not have the capability to behave like the boys. We don't have any representation, no diversity, no gender quota, no. No, I do believe that it happened. Source, trust me, bro. It remains unclear. If the police is involved, it obviously happened. It probably happened and then like someone told the others, it's like, hey, you can go to prison for this, and they were like, oh shit, okay. It remains unclear how many students were harmed. I love the fact it's like it remains unclear how many students were harmed, so you don't really know. How can they be harmed if you don't know? If someone makes a picture of my cock and it puts it in the forest and no one sees it, am I really harmed or not? Hello, Endymion. The school had not confirmed whether faculty had reviewed the images. Those images are child pornography, just so you know. Like, I don't know the legislation in America, but I'm pretty sure they are. Like, if it's a realistic photo. Like, we're not talking about anime girls, right? Which do not look human. We're talking about AI representation of an underage girl. That is CP. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. So if that's the case, the university shouldn't review them. It should be up to the cops. It's not about that, EBN. I know that drawings are not real, but when it's about a real person and the image is indistinguishable from a human being, you are basically ruining that person's reputation. Like, many legislation, even in the United States, would consider that CP. I think it depends from state to state, though. They usually rule, like from what I noticed, the ruling is that anime, like loli and stuff, they're not close enough to human beings in order to constitute an infraction. But if you have like a legit picture that's indistinguishable from a human being, right? It doesn't matter if it's real or not. Like, again, if I make a picture of your mother sucking cock and people can't tell if it's your mother or not, you can see the problem. You can see the issue with this. If I make an image of an anime girl that looks like your mother sucking cock, then people can tell that it's a difference. Technically, it's not even a drawing; it's a rendering. Again, I'm not even making the rules here. I'm just saying the legislation. Like from my research, from what I gathered, this is how the U.S. treats it, right? So if it's legally classified as CP, I don't care like what your opinion on the matter is. If it's legally classified as such, it's up to the cops. You shouldn't have like the faculty, because the thing is, like, again, you can get in legal trouble, and they won't tell you that it's not a real image, it's fictional. No, they will say you are dabbling in CP, and when you go into prison, you're going to have a very fun time there. So. Sadly, the standard is not approached consistently. I've run across cases the West that seems to use it willy-nilly. Rendering is a code word unrelated to realism. I mean, again, it's to the point where you can't tell, right? I'm gonna render a legal lolly dragon girl. Yeah, but that's anime style. You can't tell. Like, I'm not talking about the anime style. I'm talking about, like, an actual photograph that looks 100% identical to the real person. Like, there's no difference, there's nothing. Like, if I put two pictures in front of you, you wouldn't be able to tell which is real and which is AI. That's what I'm talking about. It's 3D. In UK, you can actually go to prison for anime lolly. Yeah, you can in many European countries, not just UK. France is another one. You have like legally gray countries where they will say something like, if it's credible enough, right, or something like that. And it's like, well, what is credible enough? Well, I guess you're gonna find out. In court. Even if you make them photorealistic, you can tell it's fake when she has wings and tail. If she's got wings and tail, then it's not photorealistic now, is it? It will look fucking weird. But yeah, sure, like if you have wings and tail, you can tell. Yeah. It's wild to see what YouTube censors when V has his chat on the screen. Yeah, well, I'm not censoring anything. Like, people actually think that I have like 6 hands in order to browse the article, drink my coffee, and at the same time censor the chat. So this week, President Joe Biden issued an executive order using lawmakers to pass protections to prevent a wide range of harms, include the stopping generative AI from producing CP material or producing non-consensual imagery of real individuals. I do agree with the non-consent intimate imagery of real individuals. Like again, if you're a father and someone makes that, makes some disgusting pictures of your daughter, even if they're AI, you're not going to be very happy, will you? Biden asked the Secretary of Commerce and the heads of other appropriate agencies to provide recommendation regarding tasting safeguards against CP and non-consensual. The problem with this, though, is that Biden doesn't understand how AI works. You can put safeguards and limits to AI, which is in the public domain. Like, it's not in the public domain, in the online space, where you need to connect online to a server and you interact with the AI like that. Yeah, like that is possible. But if you have like an offline AI, you have an AI into your home, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do because people just remove the guardrails. And even if you were to say, well, let's make those AIs illegal, right? Like, let's make it illegal for people to own an AI that's not connected to the internet or whatever. Piracy exists, so. Biden doesn't understand how an iPhone works, let alone AI. Yeah. I really doubt that the older generation even like tries to use AI. Like for example, my father and those of his generation, they think that AI is like the thing from Star Trek, like the computer or something. Like no, it's not like magic, you know. But anyway, students targeted remain creeped out. Some of the girls targeted told the Wall Street Journal that they were not comfortable attending school with boys who create the images. Again, like, they don't know who created it, but they assume it's the boys. They're also afraid that the images may reappear at a future point and create more damage, either professionally, academically, or socially. I do agree with this. Like, yeah, that is a problem. Others have said that the experience has changed how they think about posting online. Oh wow, at least there's one good thing coming out of this. Hallelujah. You know, a horrible situation has a good thing. Yeah. Changed how they think about posting online. You shouldn't post pictures of yourself in lewd positions online. Your grandmother didn't. Why are you? No, but unironically though, this whole thing with like posting lewd pictures of yourself, right? There's absolutely like no societal push. Oh, sorry, I didn't sleep last night. But like, there's no societal push in order to prevent women from doing this. There's nothing that makes it socially unacceptable. I needed to yawn. But think about it this way, right? Let's say you're a young, wishy-cushy girl. You're 18, right? And you want to show booba to your boyfriend. So you're lifting your shirt, you take the snapshot, and then you send the image to your boyfriend. Now, assuming that you don't get revenge porn, right? So like the boyfriend doesn't just post it out there. But what if the boyfriend just sells the phone, like a secondhand thing, or loses the phone, or whatever? And now the person has access to all the pictures in that phone. Like technically he didn't want to send, you know, your naked images. But there they are. Are you happy? If grandma had internet as a kid, she'll have posted her. Shut up. I bet it's easy to remove cloth on a sexy picture with AI. I think that's how they actually did it. I think that's how they did it. This is why like some girls are concerned about what they're posting online, because they remove the cloth using AI. Image detection firm Sensitive AI told the Wall Street Journal. See, I told you there are image detection firms. 90% of fake images online are porn. As image generators have become more commonplace, the risk for more fake images spread seems to rise. For the female, it's interesting how the market just craves for porn. Like they crave for it. And every single AI software is like, nope, you're not going to get it. Image detection from Sensitive AI. For the female students, the idea that their classmates would target them is more creepy than the vague thought that there are creepy guys out there, until the matter is settled. By the way, like this is something that I never understand. Like, do women not understand? Like, do they pretend not to understand how teenage boys work? Or is it like a complete disconnect? It's like being shocked that there are boys out there that would do this. It's like there's a new technology. They think it's harmless and edgy, but it's not. But they're still, you know, like, I mean, I guess they stopped when they realized that it's serious business, which is good. But again, like, it's not about this particular news. Like, I want to make sure that people understand. It's not necessarily about this, but I remember the articles where women were shocked that the boys in their classroom would start ranking them based on beauty. You know, it's like 1 out of 10 would smash, wouldn't smash. And they were horrified when these lists came out. They were literally horrified. And it's like, Were they horrified or were they pretending? Like, is it like such a disconnect between men and women that they literally do not know? And I'm willing to bet women do it as well. Come the fuck on. Like, don't tell me that women do not talk about which is the most hot girl in the classroom or the most popular one. Or to boys. Yeah, like women do it to other women as well. I mean, I do think that it's part of human nature. But like to act bewildered and shocked and oh my god, how did it happen? It makes me wonder, like, is there an actual disconnect? Or do they genuinely like not get it? So anyway, this is a very serious incident. New technologies have made it possible to falsify images. Yeah, but like again, the Photoshop allowed you to do the same, right? Like this was a classic when I was in high school. You'd have like a porn actress and like someone would put a different face on top of her, right? And yeah, the person with the face didn't like it because it wasn't supposed to be charitable. Um, but like it always existed. That's my point. You know, like this is not something new. This is not something that should shock anyone. But it is something that should definitely be put a stop to it. Again, I don't think that anyone would want the picture of their mother sucking cock. So, you have to pretend that all women are beautiful unless you are a woman. Oh my god, I saw this in high school as well. You know, they would pretend that the woman is great until she would turn their backs, and like once the back was turned, then they were being vindictive. But up until that point, it's like, oh, she's so nice. My perfect part is like, and I do think like this is something that happened to girls. Like you have a lady that's morbidly obese, okay? Like she needs a scooter to go to Walmart. That's what we're talking about. And you're being asked by a girl. It's like, what do you think of Sally? And you're like, I don't like Sally. She's fat. And it's like, but she has such a nice personality. And I'm like, yeah, but like you asked me in a romantic sense. The fuck does her personality has to do with it? Do I have sex with the personality? Like in a relationship, it's implied that intercourse should happen at some point, right? Like, can you separate your body from the intercourse? No, you can't. It's a package deal, right? So the same way that women complain that some men are short, or there are women that complain that some men are chubby, like that's also a thing, right? Why is it so bewildering when I have standards as well? Like, why is the argument, oh, well, she has a nice personality? Yeah, sure, she does. I'm not saying she doesn't. Well, I don't think like she would not. Yeah, like Gorlock, for example. I don't think like she would disagree that she is fat because like at some point it's self-evident, right? Like there are certain women. Do you know when a woman says that another woman is fat? Unironically, like this is the case. I noticed this is it's such a universal trend that even women from other countries do it. So like if you have a woman that's like Gorlock, they will say something like, yeah, but she has a nice personality. Like, they will not criticize her. It's fine. But if you have a woman that has big tits, like, she's got a good body. She's a 10 out of 10 waifu, but she's got, like, big tits, a plump ass, right? That's when they say she's fat. That is literally when they go out of it. Chat, am I not right, though? Am I not right? Think about it. Have you not encountered it in your real life, in your adventures? You see, people are laughing. They know what I'm talking about. Like, they see a Bayonetta, and they will say, she's fat. Right? All of a sudden, personality doesn't matter. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, but she has a nice personality. Nope. She's fat. It's fascinating. I think... Yeah, I think it's like they feel... how should I put it? Not under attack, but yeah, like they realize there's competition there. Like Gorlok the Destroyer does not provide any competition. Gorlok the Destroyer is harmless, and therefore they must protect Gorlok. But Bayonetta or Nier or no, they're fat. Horrible. It's not that women like sabotaging each other all the time. It's that human beings are competitive, right? And it matters like what you're competing with. Like men do the same. Do you think like men don't sabotage themselves at the workplace? Of course they do. Women do as well. Like the whole idea is like when you have a woman that's really pretty and that's beautiful, like they're trying to sabotage her self-esteem. That's what they're doing. They're trying to make her feel worthless so that it's harder for her to get the man. Women do sabotage each other. My studies said so. Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm saying everyone sabotages each other, right? Women sabotage other women. Men sabotage men. And even men sabotage women. Like, if you go to the workplace, you will notice it happening. Tell them they are beautiful as Lizzo. Oh my god. Oh, I will tell you something about when you got like a Gorlok and you say that Gorlok is fat, and they will be like, no, but the personality, and you're like, okay. The moment that their boyfriend, like imagine this, imagine their boyfriend goes into Gorlok's DMs, or actually flirts with Gorlok, that's when they will say Gorlok is fat. I had this happen in real life. I saw it with my own eyes. Right? It's like the moment that Gorlok is not competition, Gorlok gets protect. But the moment Gorlok steps out of line, the girls did that to girls in my high school, and they called her Butterball, which was a brand of plum turkey and a chicken fried. I gotta say, man, like kids are some of the most mean people on earth. Like some of the insults they come up with, Jesus. Okay, let me see if I can find something else. I also really need to fix my sleeping schedule because it's difficult, chat. It's difficult. Did you know they cleaned up California? Yeah? Like, this happened. Apparently, they cleaned up all the shit from the streets. Even the homeless people are nowhere to be found. And people say online that, oh, so they can fix the problem. Yes, of course they can. Like, unironically, dude, the US government can do pretty much everything. It's just that it doesn't fucking want to. There is a caveat, though. Like, I would add this. They're doing it because President Z is coming, right? So, like, they don't want President Z to see the homelessness and the shit on the streets for some reason. Yeah, Chairman Z doesn't really appreciate multiculturalism. He appreciates the culture of cleanliness, law, and order. But people are like, oh, they cleaned up the homeless. No, they didn't. They just send them to someone else, right? It's literally like when you have a guest and you don't really have time to tidy up, so you put the dirt under the rug. That's what they did. I graduated high school in 2020. The school nurse did STD tests, and attractive female students had body counts in the hundreds. I wonder if that's like only in America or in other places as well. But like, to be honest, it's not surprising because gay men have body counts in the hundreds as well. Like let me put it this way. The reason that men do not have body counts in the hundreds isn't because like they wouldn't want to. It's because they're rejected, right? So, que sera, sera. Yeah, but like the thing with the homeless people, it's not like they took them and placed them in a shelter or gave them homes. It's like they told them they're not allowed to be in LA anymore. At least not in downtown. So now there's someone else's problem. They still exist. It's just that there's someone else. I wonder why they picked San Francisco to start with. No, it's probably not because of the Asian population. It's probably like the event was organized before. Like, I would have to look into the history of the event. It's probably that it's always San Francisco. I may be wrong though, but it is like I guess like the left cathedral besides Portland. But I don't think even the government can clean up Portland, so they went to the next best thing. You have no idea how many women will hit on you when you're even moderately attractive. Well, if you have women hitting on you, I'm pretty sure like that person also has a high body count. And if you're like different and you're like able to say no, well, most other people aren't as strong. Relocated behind the sofa and under the rug. Literally, it's what they did. It's literally what they did. Like there are probably some neighborhoods right now that are wondering like, why the fuck are we invaded by all these people? And it's because the government is just clearing up the streets. That's why. Women don't exactly hit on you. No, some do. Some do. It happened to me. And I'm pretty sure like it happens to most people at least once or twice in their life. Especially like the new generations, they're more open-minded, so they do. But I guess it depends, right? There was a video which actually shows how they do, with the guy walking in New York, and the guy was like a role model, a supermodel, and he actually has women coming up to him. Second $20 for a Big Mac meal, dude. You're going to run out of $20. My last two girlfriends approached me and were virgins. I see. Let me see that video, because that was like a very interesting video with the guy walking in New York. Oh yeah, 3 hours of harassment in New York. He didn't. There was another video which for some reason got popular, even though I don't see why. With the girl walking in New York, and she had like clips of guys telling her to smile and shit, and apparently that's harassment. So like this guy did it the same. He got 19 million views. I think he got even more than her.
Well, pranksters, I'm sure all of you have seen the video of a good-looking lady walking around New York City for 10 hours getting harassed. We wanted to see if this harassment happens to guys as well. This following video you're about to see is filmed in 3 hours. Harassment? You be the judge.
And see the kind of harassment, as they like to call it, that I go through in my daily life. And it's not just girls. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, take into account that this is unacceptable, right? Like any type of vocalization to a stranger on the street is harassment, according to feminist logic. There's no fucking way that this isn't stage, chat. Like, hold on. So where is she coming from? Yeah, like she. Oh no, never mind. She was talking with these other ladies. But yeah, I mean, there is something that I said. Like, left-leaning people look at something that human beings do, and then they look at a sub-segment of humanity and say it's unacceptable if you keep doing that. Where's my chat? Why don't I have chat? Ah, here we go. Those weren't women. Well, the thing is, like most men, aren't in the top 5% of desirability, right? Like, I mean, that guy, you don't get a body like that unless you work out or you're doing some, job which requires you to lift. But like most people don't look like that, right? So most people don't experience that type of behavior. But I do know people that do look like that, and they do experience it, so I do believe it. Usually women are too nervous to actually do this. That is correct, but like think about it this way. You're walking 3 hours through the city. Like in 3 hours, you're going to run past hundreds, if not thousands of people. And he only showed 3 interactions. It is possible. They look at natural behaviors that humans do and designate them as sinful. No. They only designate them as sinful for like a small part of the population. So for instance, they look at the fact that, both men and women rank each other based on appeal. And they will say that it's unacceptable for men to keep doing it. Facts from Canada. Found out my ex was in a 3-way. Worst part, I knew the guy she did it with. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That is definitely something that you don't want to... It's like, is this something you don't want to find out? Or is it something you want to find out? But it's bad that you're in that position. Women in packs are fearless. One woman is scared. That is correct, actually, yes. Women are attracted to several things more than physique, status, wealth, art, passion. Yeah, but like at some point, if a woman gets a guy that's like top physique, she will get attracted. And it's not just like that, it's the body language as well, right? Like that guy wasn't just chiseled, but like the way he walked was probably very attractive as well. Depends if it was with another girl. See, like the thing with the wife being with another girl is always like a controversial thing. Like some people consider it as cheating, other people don't. It is interesting, but like very rarely will the other girl want to be with you, so. V, I've been listening to Crusaders for weeks, and I want to know the ultimate fate of your cult. The thing was, in Crusaders, I didn't like the fact that the role-playing went on an island where they were just constructing stuff. And I'm not into those types of games. I don't like sandbox games. I don't like Rust. I don't like Ark, Survival Evolved. I don't like Minecraft. Unfortunately for me, Sargon and Arch seem to do. And they moved the campaign from like a crusading campaign into that. So I decided to stop playing. And it was also like by the time we returned on the main island, the crusade left. And the people in my cult were almost all but killed. So I did feel that as enough of a reason to stop playing the campaign. And after I stopped playing, the campaign dropped a few days later, so. Hello, Bob Cowan. Yeah, we didn't get to the crusade. I don't know why Sargon made that decision, right? Like him as the GM decided to just say, oh well, the crusade sailed, and you know, like you can be a GM and you can have like this whole thing where you're like, you're rolling dice and you have your plans and you don't tell the players, and it's like, oh, in 4 weeks this happens, and you know, if the players didn't do it, then the world moves on. But in this particular situation, he could have just not did it. I don't even know why he did it. What was the campaign called? I don't even know where you can find it anymore because it's deleted from everywhere. It's Dungeons and Dragons Crusaders, from a time when YouTube's TOS was a lot more permissive. Right. I think I'll end it a little bit earlier because I'm almost falling asleep. I need to fix my sleeping schedule. But thank you guys for being here, and thank you for the donations, and hopefully I'll be a little bit more lively and entertaining tomorrow. Take care.